Eric, welcome to the show. Nice of you to join us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, without a doubt. And, a lot of times I will prepare. I got a big sheet of paper, and I write the artist's name and the album and all, like their likes and dislikes, and I go online and look at all this stuff. I figured we have a new up-and-comer. Clean slate. I have nothing in front of me.
Is this your way of saying you didn't feel like looking anything up?
No, I did look you up. I went on your website, erichutchinson.com, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, you were very good.
I saw you on Wikipedia. I know you're from Maryland. I know, that shows all the people that they say you're like, whether it be Billy Joel and this other stuff. Let's start at the beginning. Maryland is where you were born, right?
Yeah, from just outside of D.C., so grew up there and then went to school in Boston and lived in L.A. for a while. I've kind of been all over the place, so it's been cool.
So, Red Sox fan or Orioles fan?
I'm an Orioles fan, but I don't mind the Red Sox. But then I live in New York now, and I don't know. I don't know if you're a Mets or a Yankees fan.
Yankees.
Yeah, I figured I'd be a Mets fan kind of by default when I got to New York, but then I started looking around, and I don't know, no offense, I just, the history of the Yankees is more exciting to me than the Mets history. So you take away the '86 Mets, it's like, what do you got, 30 years of not much happening. So
you are really annoying a lot of our listeners because this is the way it works in New York. Let me explain it to you. Long Island, primarily, is Mets, Jets, Islanders.
Right.
As you move towards the city, Yankees, Giants, Rangers.
Let me rephrase. I like the Mets a lot, actually, and close second would be the Jets and Islanders.
There you go. Well done, sir. You got your start how? Like, some people were 2 years old and somebody handed them a guitar. What happened with you?
I just always liked singing, and for me it was just I used to make up songs, turn on the tape recorder, and my brother and sister and I would just kind of mess around and sing songs, and it just kind of was always a hobby, and then I finally decided to kind of just start taking it more seriously. There wasn't like it wasn't like me singing in the choir, and there was a talent scout there, and he put me into, America's Next Top Singer or something. I don't know. But,
well, I know I started, my parents introduced me to instruments. I started on piano. I went to clarinet. I went to saxophone. I stared playing some bass guitar.
Wow.
I was musical. I had a band, whatever. We were terrible. But, so...
Were you playing clarinet in this band?
No. I played bass. Hey, I played CBGBs twice.
Nice.
So, we wrote some songs, but not as good as yours. I went to college and tried to get an education.
That was your first mistake.
So what did you play when you were a kid? What instruments were you playing?
Yeah, I took, like you said, I took piano lessons, and kind of, like most kids, it was kind of, I got to practice a half an hour. Mom, stop making me do this stuff. But then it turned out, you get why everyone's parents make them take piano lessons because they wish they played better. And that's how I feel now. It's like I wish I could have made myself play better then. But, it was cool. And then I kind of learned guitar later in high school, kind of just self-taught, kind of messing around with chords and stuff like that, and I don't know, but really I always liked singing the most, and the guitar or the piano was just a way to kind of accompany myself.
Eric Hutchinson is here with us. We're going to hear live in studio Rock and Roll, which is your big song. It's awesome, very catchy, and I'm sorry to say this because I know you're competing with current artists, but very Jason Mrazzi, right? I mean, you've heard that before.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm actually going. I'm going to do some shows with Jason Mraz in Australia next week, actually. So I'm really excited. I'm going to be opening for him and stuff. So I definitely, we're friends. We came out of the same kind of world or whatever. So I definitely get the assimilations, I guess.
Well, what's the name of the album in stores now?
My album is called Sounds Like This, and I called it that because people kept saying, "Oh, what does your music sound like?" And so I said, "It sounds like this. Why don't you just listen to it?"
And Rock and Roll, a big song. I'm assuming thus far in your career, the biggest response you've had to a song?
Yeah. It's the first single, really. So it's cool. It's really exciting to see people really starting to respond well to it and into the whole album and everything. So it's been really cool.
And, I went on YouTube to check you out. I saw a performance you did for another radio station. I don't even know what
Never. I'll never do that to you.
I don't know. Thank you, sir. I don't know what city it was in. You were with Marie Digby, who we had here up here in our studios not too long ago. She gained her fame on YouTube. And
right.
What about, you're one of those new kind of singer-songwriters. How important is the internet and downloads and YouTube and that kind of stuff?
I mean, I think the internet's really important, but we were having a discussion before in terms of, I think these days it's kind of easy to get by as a musician and kind of maybe use some tricks, computers, whatever, to sound better than you actually are. And I kind of like the live aspect of things. I mean, we tour a lot. pretty much on the road all the time, and I really like seeing bands live because that's when you can really tell, can these guys cut it or not, you know? So to me, it's like I like the internet as a tool to get people to come, you know, to the show, to actually have like an actual person-to-person, you know, connection as opposed to just, you know, watching me on YouTube or something. So
it's nice to see an artist come up here, and you know that on his CD, it's not like studio effects. You can sing, my man. You can sing.
Thank you.
Did you take voice lessons? Did you take any singing lessons?
I've taken some lessons recently, mainly to learn how to just kind of preserve my voice, because, you know, singing every day, my voice ends up getting kind of run down. So, but I don't know. I probably should have taken more lessons so I could figure out how to use it correctly. Maybe I'll do like the Madonna thing, you know. She went back and took all these voice lessons and sang all weird afterwards.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because
You've been wanting to talk about Madonna.
No, well, I found something out. I did, without writing it down. I remember it. On your Wikipedia page, it says originally you were signed to Madonna's record label before it folded, and they never released your album. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, I didn't even get to make the album. I got signed to Madonna's label, which was Maverick Records. It had like Alanis and stuff like that. And I was about to start making the album. I was like in day 5 or something in the studio, and they called up and said, everything's frozen, you can't stay in your hotel tonight, we're sending you home tomorrow.
Unbelievable.
And it was horrible.
So now do you laugh when you see her all over the tabloids and stuff?
Yeah, well, I never actually met her or anything. She wasn't, her manager at the time was running the label, so I met him a couple times. But yeah, it was kind of weird, you know. I don't have any personally against Madonna, you know.
Of course you do. Come on. Let's start some controversy. You're a young guy. How old are you?
I'm 28.
All right, Eric. Well, you're not that young. You're getting up there. You're almost a big 3-0,
I know.
Eric.
I've been doing this for a while, so.
But you are relatively young. So you know, you're into a lot of different stuff, I'm sure. Let's find out about you. TV. Do you have any favorite TV shows? Do you watch Idol?
I don't watch Idol. I get all the Idol updates from my mom, who always lets me know what's going on with that. I like Lost a lot.
Okay.
Top Chef on Bravo. You ever watch that one? I love that show. It's like, it's really addictive. I don't know. I'm trying to think what else. What do you watch?
Dancing with the Stars, American Idol.
What is up with Dancing with the Stars? People love this show.
Yeah, you know what? Tom Bergeron is the greatest male host I've ever seen in my life.
Did you watch him on America's Funniest Home Videos?
He's very good, too. There's something about him. He's got that
he's
all-America.
Yeah, he's very smooth without being condescending, you know. Reminds me of you.
Thank you, sir. But I do like Edita, the dancer Edita, Julianne, and Kim Johnson. They're 3 of my favorites on the
So you actually not only know the stars, you know the dancers' names.
Yeah.
You have trading cards at home or something?
I have my own pictures. We won't talk about that.
So you prefer that one to American Idol these days? It seems like it's kind of getting cooler. Even though that show's in, like, what, its 5th or 6th season now.
I look forward to both. I really do. Idol, there's a guy on Idol who everybody thinks is going to win, Adam Lambert.
That's what I'm hearing, Adam Lambert. But I hear he's kind of cheesy.
He's theatrical.
Is that how you say it?
Is the word. He's a talented guy. He's theatrical. What about music? All right. Again, I know we're trying to sell your album here, man. But name some artists. Who do you like?
These days, like current artists out there, I really like the new Killers album. I always love Kanye West. What else? Coldplay's last album I thought was cool. This band Vampire Weekend. I don't know if you know them. They're pretty cool.
Heard of them?
They've sold. They're like their album gone gold, and no one's actually like heard them. They're like kind of underground and hipster and stuff. But the music's really like fun and upbeat and stuff. So those are like the new stuff I've listened to. But you know, then I like that. I wanted to ask you like where I know. If Long Island is Mets territory, it's also like Billy Joel territory, though. Right?
Absolutely.
Isn't it like you're like born and they issue you a copy of The Stranger?
You in the hospital. They give it to you before you leave the hospital. You know, Billy Joel is someone we mentioned earlier in the hour here that you're compared to on a lot of websites. They say, oh, he's very Billy Joel-esque. And so what kind of comparisons do you get?
I'll take a Billy Joel one any day. I mean, that's someone I grew up loving and really love his music. And, you know, I mean, the people who I want to be compared to, who I don't really get compared to that much, you know, it's Stevie Wonder and the Beatles and Billy Joel and Elvis Costello and stuff.
Adam Lambert. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I just wish I could become more Adam Lambert.
There you go. Eric Hutchinson in a nutshell. If you don't know enough about him, I'm sorry. Then someone else is going to have to interview you. Because I think we covered a lot of stuff.
This is, I think, going to be the interview.
You know, you're complimenting me. You're trying to butter me up. Go buy his album. It's called Sounds Like This. It's in stores. The big song Rock and Roll. You heard it. We're going to get it online for you at WMJCFM.com. And we thank you so much. And you're headed out of town. You got a lot of stuff to do. Thanks for stopping by.
Ah, thank you. It was fun.